First of all, he's got two decent ones to beat in Australia and Kingfisher and Wexford Town. Let's not forget Wexford Town. He's a brother to Trading Leather, and Trading Leather was runner-up in this race 12 months ago, runner-up to Battle of Marengo. So it's certainly a race, a Group 3 that over the years has supplied good runners and good
want to see him win a race.
Australia 16s for the Derby. 4 of them going to post for Tony to call.
Ready to roll, 1 mile for this Group 3. Bet of 20,000 to win 10 just gone in the ring, and they're away and racing with Kingfisher quickly into a stride on the inside. The favourite is on the left, that's Free Eagle. Just behind them in the white and purple colours is Wexford Town, and bringing up the rear is Australia as they stride along down the back straight, and Kingfisher leads by a length and a half to Free Eagle in second. 2.5 lengths away then Australia, moving up on the outside of Wexford Town as they pass the 6th pole. Kingfisher in front by 2 lengths to Free Eagle, similar gap to Australia, who's about a neck in front of Wexford Town, who's racing next to the rails. They near the end of the back straight. They've covered 3 furlongs, and that's Kingfisher in front under Shamie Heffernan. Free Eagle, Pat Smollen in second, then Australia, Joseph O'Brien, and Wexford Town and Kevin Manning as they leave the back straight. Less than half a mile to race. And our leader still Kingfisher from Free Eagle. 2 lengths away sits Australia, and Wexford Town, the back marker of the quartet, as they race on towards the 3, heading towards the home turn. And Kingfisher in front. Free Eagle, the hot favourite in second. Australia's 2.5 off him, and a gap then to Wexford Town being ridden along as they swing for home. Over 2 furlongs to race. Kingfisher the leader from Free Eagle. Australia being asked to close now as they race down inside the last 2 furlongs. Free Eagle with Australia coming there on the outside. Behind these now in third place is a weakening Kingfisher, and Australia has gone to the front from Free Eagle, and Australia has gone away from him as they race inside the final furlong. Australia is the one that's going to stride to an impressive victory here. Free Eagle is well beaten in second. In third place is Kingfisher, and then Wexford Town. Australia easily from Free Eagle. In third place Kingfisher, and finally Wexford Town. Fight the 2 winner of this Group 3 mile 2-year-old race is Australia.
This horse is probably very, very good. He's a really interesting, and he's got Epsom written all over him. By a Derby winner, out of an Oaks winner, doesn't he win well?
Yeah, he's got the pedigree to match his looks. As I said, he was a 525,000 yearling. The mare hadn't bred a whole lot up to this fella. She was being a disappointing brood mare, but in this fella she looks to have a cracking horse in this fella. Quickened up really well, went away for Joseph when he got down to give him a smack. He's improved no end from his last run, and he put some daylight between himself and Free Eagle. He just didn't put a couple of lengths. He put 5 or 6. He went absolutely sprinted away. Joseph just looking across at the big screen there, doesn't have to do any more than give him a squeeze. Shortish kind of front on him. Joseph is tall, but he's sitting very close to his ears in front. He'll develop a bit as well too, and he's out of a mare that won 7 Grade 1s and was a good mare over 1.25 miles and 1.5 miles, and sure, this fella can only improve by Galileo. I mean, he's got everything you'd want. Looks, pedigree and ability. What more could you ask for?
Looks like he's got it all right, and I love the way he quickens on the outside of Pat. And I mean, Pat just can't do anything about it here. Joseph just shakes up this Australia, and away he goes.
Yeah, Free Eagle was disappointing. Even if Australia didn't run, Free Eagle is not just putting the daylight between himself and Kingfisher that you would expect. He would have beaten him probably well enough, but Pat hasn't done any more on him when he squeezed him up. But he's a shallow sort of horse. He'll improve a lot, Free Eagle, with a winter under his belt. He's not as developed, as I said, as the other horse. The other horse is a stouter sort of horse and has come to himself more. But with his pedigree, he'll improve again too. I think Free Eagle has a bit of more developing to do.
And he's got an interesting pedigree, because I looked it up a couple of weeks ago after his big win. He was quoted 16-20 to 1 for the Derby. That'll be a lot shorter now. But it's an American pedigree that was imported into France at the beginning of the last century. And interestingly, his 7th dam was born with such crooked forelegs that the breeder wanted her put down. And it was on the insistence of somebody called Jean Couturier, who said, "Don't put her down, I'll have her." She was given to him as a gift, and she is now one of the most influential, became the most influential broodmare globally, the ancestress of Kingston Town from Australia, and the dam of Rialto, one of France's greatest ever sires. And more as well. And this fella's from that same pedigree. That's a bit of a nerd story, but it's an interesting one, I think. And this fella...
But you're not a nerd, you're
I hope. And this is, you know... It is interesting. Here's his pedigree by Galileo out of Ouija Board. You cannot get better than that. Ouija Board was the most outstanding mare. Dual Oaks winner. I think she won something like 9 Grade 1s. And Galileo, one of the all-time greats. Got it on the page, and he certainly looks like a fellow who's... Yeah, he looks good.
He looks the real deal now. I'd say they're licking their lips in Coolmore with a horse like him. I know they have loads of them, but a horse with a pedigree like him looks to match, and a dam line and everything else. And like all good horses, I mean, Galileo, when he was a 2-year-old, he could win around here over 7 and a mile, and this fella's only going to get better. I mean, what a prospect he is. Gerald Lane there leading them in, and Pat Keating on the right. Young Dunica. O'Brien on the left.
I'm sure Joseph was disappointed with Maasai in the second race, the Colts 2-year-old maiden, when he got beat by his stable companion, Agene. And of course there was a big discussion between Joseph and his dad and John Magner, and they obviously decided that declaration of war, the ground was just not up his street, not quick enough for him, and they pulled him out. But this fella's done it the right way.
Yes, Paul Smith, of course, a son of Derek Smith, in whose colours Australia has absolutely annihilated his 3 opponents in the Icon Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Trial Stakes. Over the mile, Australia wins at 5-2. Second home, number 3, Free Eagle, the 5-2 on favourite. And third home was number 4, Kingfisher, at 8-1.
6 lengths, the winning distance, 3.5 between Free Eagle and Kingfisher. And I'd certainly be interested to hear from Brian what bookmakers are going for the Derby about this fella, because if they had Free Eagle at 8-1, they've got to put this chap in at
6-4.
Well, short odds.
Sure, they could do. The bookmakers that are going around nowadays are only bookmakers because of name. The quarter horse that won a maiden here, 8-1 for a Derby next June. I mean, you must think the punters are complete mugs.
Yeah, but they put in Camelot at 25s, and he ended up 8-11 on and won. They haven't been too far wrong now.
Oh, no, they're not wrong. They're right as far as putting money in their pockets.
8-1 Paddy Power. We hear. And I wonder what plans Aidan has for him for the rest of the season. Racing Post Trophy, the Dewhurst perhaps. On his page, you'd say he might come back here for the Derrinstown Derby trial as a way to getting to Epsom, but maybe Aidan will consider Newmarket.
Maybe Aidan has 2 below better than him.
Who knows? There's plenty of firepower down there. So a lively opener to our 4-race programme, and the Coolmore Fisace Pegasus Matron Stakes coming up, and the Connolly's Red Mills Irish Champion Stakes closes our programme. Al Kazim now the warmish favourite in favour of the few, but King's Barnes in there as well. Joseph O'Brien has come to join me. Joseph, many congratulations. We're looking at a lovely horse, and I can say you're going to tell us that he feels pretty special to ride.
Yes, Robert, he's a great attitude. He's very laid back, and all his homework is good, but he's very lazy. And I travelled well today. He was quite green early on. He's a bit slow away and things, and when he changed legs and I got a flick into him up the straight, quickened up very well.
I mean, you left Pat for dead there.
Yeah, he turned in as just following along Pat here and just meeting the rising ground. He changed his legs when I switch him out, and he quickens up and goes to the line very strong.
6 lengths.
Yeah, he's down 6 lengths. He's an exciting horse.
Did your dad suggest where we might see him again? Do you think he might be out again before the season's end?
We didn't say anything yet. Obviously, they'll see how he comes out of the race and that. And all the owners will decide on that. But you'd imagine the Dewhurst and the Racing Post Trophy and races like that would definitely be on his agenda, you'd imagine.
And Joseph, just pulling up, I mean, a big smile from you. I mean, you're pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, when riding horses like that makes him, he's very happy.
How did you find the ground now?
It's slow ground, Robert. It's a bit easier into the dip. That actually gave a little stumble into the dip, and just when he met the rising ground, he got back comfortable. But it's slow ground. It's a bit unfortunate we've got the rain in the last day or so, but it's not ideal. But
I mean, I saw you in detailed conversation with your dad and John Magna after the second race when you got beaten on Maasai. Was that when the discussion happened to say, right, it's just too slow for declaration of war?
Yes, yes, it was. Obviously, we wanted to see what it was riding like, and after the first race, we had an idea, and we just wanted to be sure after the second. And he's a very good horse, and he's had a tough, hard year, and there's plenty of races left in him, and you wouldn't want to run him in soft ground and leave a race out there.
Well, you've still got King's Barnes to look forward to. Tell us about him now, because we haven't seen him since the Racing Post Trophy last year.
Yes, Robert, he's a very good horse. This is his first run back after nearly a year off, so it's a massive ask taking on the likes of Alcazim, Trading Leather, the Fugue. But he's a very good horse, and we're hoping for a nice run. Like I said, he's had so long off the track, and if he was in the first three, it'd be a massive run.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Robert.
Yes, well done to Joseph. That big smile on his face as he went past the winning post on Australia, and plenty to smile about, as does this man beside me now, Aidan O'Brien, of course, his trainer. And Aidan, tell us what you think of this horse now after seeing that.
We always thought the world of him, Tracy. Obviously the lads thought the world of him, obviously, before he came to us at the sales, so very special horse.
Very laid back, isn't he?
He's lovely. He's asleep. He doesn't even know he's a racehorse yet, which is unbelievable. Like he was just lazing along until Joseph picked him up, but that's what's very special about him. When you go for that gear, it's there, Now,
his third run today, obviously, and he would have learned a lot from today, I think.
Yeah, would have learned plenty today. It was better running in better horses, and he dropped in and he had to come around horses and quicken up, so it was very good experience from today.
Yeah, his pedigree obviously suggests he can go a good distance. So what's the plan for him in your mind at this time?
I'm not sure. He doesn't have to run anymore this year. Like, obviously he has enough experience. He has 3 runs, and we'll see how he is, I suppose, over the next couple of weeks, but doesn't have to run, and if not, obviously we'll train him for the classics next year if he doesn't run anymore. So it's I suppose it'll depend on what's happening to the horses around him and all that, but I think he knows enough to go on to next year now if he doesn't run.
Big change in the big race, obviously, no declaration of war. Joseph mentioned it. Tell us your thoughts behind that.
Yeah, no, listen, he has form on soft ground, but listen, the horses he would have been beaten would have been very ordinary horses, and his form is different class on fast ground. Obviously we saw his Ascot form and his York form, and even that day in Sandown, the ground was on the slow side. It was very heavily watered, slow ground, and in Goodwood, same very, very slow ground, And his form is just different class on fast ground, Tracy. And listen, there's no point in we know him long enough now, and he's had enough runs to know what's the right thing to do with him, and we just felt it wasn't fair to ask him. The heavens are ready to open here at any time, and listen, we wanted to we wanted to give people a little bit of notice, do you know what I mean, rather than taking him out now or in a 3/4 of an hour's time, So listen, he's super. I've been very happy with him, but we just thought it was the right thing. And King's Barnes is his first run in nearly a year, so it's a lovely day to start him on nice ground, and hopefully come forward from there.
And then, of course, finally, you're 300 in the Matron Stake.
Yeah, fillies are well. Joseph's filly is a good draw, would like the ground to stay good. Michael's filly will handle and ease in the ground, and she's well. And Seamus's filly has been busy, probably a mile and a furlong is her trip, and we're hoping that they run well, really.
We're looking forward to it. Well done in this.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks, Aidan.